Greetings, explorers! I am Dr. Archibald Deverell. Not only am I a professor of history and archaeology, I'm the kind of person who really loves to go places, to see things with my own eyes. I have been chased by elephants, nearly caught in a volcanic eruption, pursued by monkeys, and tossed about the ocean in a great storm. In my years of study, I've discovered many wonderful artifacts and learned countless amazing things. Now I take the time to share them with everyone I can, because when one person grows in wisdom and knowledge, everyone benefits. Welcome to my study. Today I want to tell you about my amazing adventures to Fumacinha Falls. It is a spectacular waterfall in the country of Brazil, South America. It's hidden away in a 375,000-acre national park. When I first heard about it, I was excited to see it, but I was pretty worried about finding it. There aren't any streets or signs pointing the way. In fact, I didn't even have cell phone reception when I went, but I did have something that made it possible to find the falls: my map. Maps are a picture of the world. They show us where things are so that we can find the places we want to go. Without a map, it can be very difficult to get to where you want to be. While I was on my hike to Fumacinha Falls, I thought I knew how to get there. I just started walking my own way. I hiked for an hour, and I reached a dead end. Finally, I grabbed my map. Looking at it helped me realize just how far off I was. And because I had my map, I could find the correct way to the falls. I had to hike over rivers, up massive boulders, and across rugged terrain to find one of the most hidden and stunning waterfalls in the world. Oh, I'll never forget how amazing it was. Maps are wonderful for getting us to good places and keeping us out of bad ones. God has given us something that is like a very powerful map to guide our paths. It's called wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge and understanding that comes from God to help us make good and right decisions. King Solomon wrote all about wisdom. He was one of the wisest men who has ever lived. And he wrote many short, meaningful sayings called Proverbs to help us live according to God's wisdom. In Proverbs chapter 3 in the Bible, Solomon wrote like a father giving advice to his son. We know that Solomon's advice wasn't only important for people living during Bible times, it is important for all people. We still need to let God guide our paths today. In Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6, Solomon writes, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. In all your ways obey him. Then he will make your paths smooth and straight." God cares about us so much that he doesn't want anyone to wander around lost in life. He wants us to know the best way to go. The best way is his way. It's tempting for us to try to figure things out on our own, to trust ourselves. When I was trying to find Fumacinha Falls, I was sure that I was on the right path. But before I knew it, I was at a dead end. I'd look at my map to know the right way to go. If we are wise, we won't go our own way. Instead, we will trust God's way. When we obey him and live according to his will, he will help us find the right thing to do in life, even in difficult times. Solomon points out that God laid out the foundations of the earth. He put the heavens in place and created the skies and seas. God is trustworthy because he created everything, including us. He knows us and knows what is best for us. Solomon wanted everyone to store up God's good instructions in their hearts. He shares that following God's commands will help us have a long and fulfilling life. When we walk in God's wisdom, we can be confident that we are living his way. This doesn't make everything in life easy. We will still have difficult times in this world, and we won't always choose to follow God's wisdom. But when we do, we won't stumble and we won't we won't have to be afraid. We will know that God is by our side. God's wisdom does more than just make our paths smooth and straight. It instructs us so that we can live lives that honor God. Solomon writes that we should hold tight to God's love and faithfulness, wearing them around our necks and writing them on our hearts. We don't do this literally, but when we grow to trust God and love others, God's love and faithfulness becomes part of us. When we help others, keep our promises, and we don't pretend to be better than we are, we wear God's love like a necklace and display His faithfulness to everyone we meet. Wisdom is so important that we should never let it out of our sight. Once you find it, hold on to it forever. When I trusted my own directions, I've reached a dead end. But we can always trust God and His wisdom. God created everything and knows everything. When we turn to God and ask for His help, we can choose what is right and best because God's wisdom guides our paths.